Boom. There we go. Hey, good morning, TFWR. It's Ward Wrestling Live right here with my man, Brendon Abdon, one of the state champs out of Lake Gibson this year. I believe there was two of you, right, this year?
Yes, there was.
That got the individual state championship. Awesome. Well, congratulations. If you don't know, he just finished up his sophomore year over there at Lake Gibson, and he won the state championship, which we just said. His freshman year, he was a runner-up. He's been two-time district champ, two-time regional champ, and he was runner-up at that beast over at Osceola County called the Knockout. So, hey, Brendon, I really appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. And talk about what it's been like through the off season. You typically would probably have wrestled a ton already. And because of this quarantine, what have you been up to? How have you been staying in shape? And what have you been doing?
Well, really just trying to make the best of the situation. You know, lots of trying to get good at lots of running in, trying to get the cardio up. I have a weight set in my garage, so I'm lifting in my garage, and we actually have a mat too. So we have a mat in our garage too. So I'm trying to use all the opportunities I have in this quarantine to get better and hopefully make that next jump to the next level.
Oh, well, good for you. Good for you. So I've got some questions for you. So you just ended your sophomore year.
Yes.
You had your freshman year ended out pretty good, runner-up, and then you went into your senior year. So my first question here is, what did you learn from your state final loss in ninth grade?
A lot. Big thing was the atmosphere, the stage. I think in the very beginning of the match, it got to me a little bit. So I got that out of the way. I got being in that situation out of the way, and then over summer we were also all over the country traveling with a bunch of the Florida kids. So that stage, and then really what I needed to work on that next year and focus on to get the job done, because 2 points was not a lot. So 2 points away to then having the state finals match that I did. Just had to really dial in and focus up and really make sure everything's right, from the weight cut to what I'm eating and to how I'm warming up and to what I'm doing before the match, what I'm putting in my body, just everything all around. Just had to really touch it up and dial it in.
And who was the kid that beat you your freshman year?
Gerald Roger. He was a senior from Golden Gate.
So you didn't get to get one back at him, huh?
No. He's a good wrestler. He's doing. I don't know what he's doing right now, but it was a good match. You know, it was a tough loss, but it was a very good learning experience for me.
Awesome. So talk about that happened. You did your off season. What did you do differently during your sophomore year that gained you all the success you had?
Well, it started over summer, getting a lot better quality matches when I'm going to these higher level national tournaments, as in Fargo, cadet duels, Southeast regionals, and then worked on a lot of film also during the year. But running was a big thing. I woke up from the state duels in Osceola from when Lake Gibson lost that. I woke up every morning at 5 a.m. to hit a 2-mile run every morning. And then I was lifting after school too, before practice.
Wow. It's funny you said running. I mean, you hear a lot of the pros. I mean, like, what are those two brothers out of California? He always says, if you're not running, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah.
So now you've got your state championship under your belt. You finished your sophomore year. So what does it feel now to be a leader in that Lake Gibson room with, from what I understand, it's a young squad, talking to Coach Walker. How have you transitioned into now becoming a leader in that room, and how does it feel?
It's going to be it's going to be I think it's going to be a really good fit for just the whole group. I mean, the group that we have we have right now, we've all wrestled since we were in middle school. So we're all looking forward to really showing where we're at. You know, we lost a lot of seniors, but we have a lot of guys that can fill in that weren't in the lineup this year because they're behind seniors. But, you know, being a leader, I have to lead them and lead either by example and make sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. So when the time comes, we're ready to perform and get the job done.
That's awesome. To talk about that a little bit. So I know that you went into the knockout, you came in second there. The first thing is talk about the duels this year. We know there's a huge rivalry with you and Jesuit. I know that was everybody was looking forward to it. First of all, talk about the disappointment that it was in the first round. Shouldn't they be seeded, or shouldn't they have been done differently to have that in the finals?
Yeah, it should have been a finals match, but you know, every year that ever since this happened, it's always going to be a dogfight. I mean, it's a good duel to have. I mean, you're going in there, you're with your team, they're with their team. Now I got friends on Jesuit, but when we're hitting the mat, we want to win, and you know they're doing the right things, and it's getting both of us better for how we're competing against each other.
Yeah, I was going to say it's got to be to have a rivalry like that has got to help all the kids in each room. It's got to make you guys strive to be better, because it's not like it's a rivalry with a team that you consistently whoop. I mean, you guys,
Yeah.
There's some great competitions there, and it's got to make you guys work harder in the room.
Yeah.
Somebody put that boy, Angel Hernandez just said, that boy nice. Can you see the Facebook? Or he put, I don't know what you worried about. He's doing great.
Yeah. That's
all
my
right.
boy Ames.
Yeah. So what has Coach Walker meant to you and your growth as a wrestler?
Oh, that's a good one. A lot. You know, I been with him since sixth grade, so it's been a long process. He's pushed me in the wrestling room. He's pushed me in the classroom. He's pushed me in the life aspect of it. It's all of it. He's wanting what's best for me, and he knows what I can accomplish. Him and Brent, they both really want what's best for me, and they want what's best for all the kids on the team. So they're pushing me every day in the room and making sure I'm doing good in the classroom, making sure I'm doing the right things. So what my dreams and goals and my aspects are in life, I can accomplish.
That's awesome. Now, I know you have a dad who's a coach. I don't think he's not a coach at the Lake Gibson team anymore, is he? Or is he still really involved? And either way, how has it been having a father and then also having a coach? But is he able to separate what Coach Walker is trying to teach you and what his advice is, or do they kind of have an agreement? Is it difficult to hear from both sides?
No, it's not. You know, some things my dad sees, Walker doesn't see. Some things that Walker sees, my dad doesn't see. But really, when they're together and they're talking, and whether it's with me or with another kid on what they need to be doing, they really got a good duo right there. And then you throw in the mix, Brent, George, and whoever else is helping. You know, it's really good. It's a really good combination, because they're all their three minds together sometimes can go a little crazy, but usually they know what they're talking about.
That's awesome. So, first of all, what has wrestling meant to you as far as being a young kid in this world and being able to get through, and how has it helped you grow up, mature, or just be a good person?
It taught me a lot. It taught me, you know, dedication. Taught me, you know, to get what you want, you're gonna have to put in the work. It's not just gonna happen. It's taught me a lot. It's helped me grow up a lot, you know, from traveling as a little kid, kind of got to figure it out on my own. I can't rely on someone else. It's on me, you know. Like I got to accept if I lost, that's on me. It's not on anyone else. I can't blame it on anyone else.
That's awesome. So we have Alex De Armas so we have a few questions coming in for you. So Alexis De Armas said, how much do you think starting at a young age helps you get to where you are now?
Oh, a lot. My parents sacrificed a lot from me as a little kid going to all these national tournaments, getting in the experience in the mat time. You know, sometimes that helps pay off when you're in one of them close matches or you're in a tight match with not knowing what to do. You know, that freestyle and Greco paid off in my semifinals. But like having a lot of getting that experience and knowing like your mat awareness and you're kind of mat savvy, I would say it helps a lot. I mean, the best of the best that you see, Ethan Basil, Kyle and Brendon Basil, you know, they've all been all over the country. I've traveled a lot with a lot of them. So you see where, you know, you see even there's so many more kids in Florida. Nick Rizakis, he started at a young age, you know, he's one of the best in the country now. Mark Anthony, another one, started at a young age in Florida. You know, there's so many people. It helps a lot.
So another one from Vincent Parker. Ask if he has seen his dad's old videos from local station in New Jersey.
Oh, I have not. But when we do travel up there, I have seen I've seen a couple of his medals from his state tournament. I've seen his, I think I've seen his singlet before, but yeah, it's funny. I go up there and a lot of people know him because of him placing the New Jersey State tournament.
Awesome. Hey, so who is your favorite opponent to wrestle in the state of Florida?
Ooh, that's a good one. I don't know. That's a good one. There's a lot of kids that I like wrestling, getting in them situations where it's either it's going to be someone knows it's going to be a good match or it's I'm the underdog, because at that point I have nothing to lose. So it's like they're expected to win and I'm not expected to win. So it's time to where if I can pull off something big, then it's like, wow, he's legit. He's not anything. But there's a lot of people who I like to scrap with. I mean, there's a lot of people.
Cool. I'm making sure I'm trying to see if I missed any of these guys' questions. Everybody is sending you some good stuff here. Let's see. Oh, Pat Ortiz said you need to get a haircut like him. Hey, Brandon. All right, so far so good. So talk a little bit. I know that you have a couple of different clubs and things that you wrestle for and some teams. So first you have the Braves Wrestling Club. Obviously nothing going on right now, but talk about that, their culture and what that club has meant to you and what it means to grow in the Lake Gibson high school team.
It's a good club. You know, it's basically a lot of our high school kids going in, training for freestyle and Greco, trying to improve in the off season because that's where a lot of kids get better. That's where you get a lot of mat time. You know, you have them Saturday tournaments and you're going there and you're working on stuff. You could go there and just work on one thing and, you know, try things out, you know, but when you're traveling all over the country with some of the best coaches in the nation, whether it's Sean Sheldon or it's Mason over from Tampa Prep, or it's, you know, all these other coaches that are here helping us at Fargo and cadet duels and junior duels and all this other stuff you're learning. You're trying to pick up what all these coaches are saying, trying to get yourself better.
That's awesome. Now talk about your years with the Greco team. I know that you've been on there since you were just a little boy and you got to grow with some studs, really. I mean, I don't know everybody you have on your team, but I'm learning. I know you had mentioned you, Kai, Brayden, McGowan, Brusakis.
Yeah.
Those are all kids that don't suck.
Yeah, they've all we've all grown up grown up around each other, and we've done. I mean, you put the Crook brothers in there. You put Raul from my school. You put Van Hokie from Palmetto. I mean, there's so many kids that.
So he and Brendon are on the team together.
Yeah, they've been on a. They were Fargo was fun. We were right next to each other in rooms. You know, it's on the mat. On the mat, it's war, but it's a dogfight. But
yeah, haven't they've competed in the last 2 state finals, right, against each other?
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
that's got to be pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So how's that helped? How's it helped being around those kids? I mean, obviously you've got to.
Oh.
Those are all high achievers as well. So traveling with Greco and being around those teams.
Oh yeah.
That's had to have meant a lot to you.
Yeah, you get a lot better wrestling with those guys over the summer. You know, you're trying to practice with them whenever you can, trying to improve yourself because you know you're 2 high level experienced kids. I mean, you're both knocking at the door at each other. We're going back and forth on takedowns. You know, one of us is getting the best of another, and then the next day another of us is getting the best of the other. It's so fun getting to just be in a dogfight with them, practicing, and then stepping on the mat and doing it to whoever your next opponent is. That's
awesome, man. So, hey, I'm gonna ask you those 10 questions. Let me ask you this: Is there anything that you would like to talk about that I missed? Is there anything you'd like to discuss? I tried to reach out to your coaches and stuff to get some good questions for you because obviously I can read what you've done, but I don't know you personally until now. So I was able to put together some of those good questions for you. Here we go. Pat Ortiz. Describe that feeling in your semis match at the state championship when you were down during the match, knowing that the year before you came up short, but managed to overcome it and win. So yeah, so basically that feeling of, oh shit, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Am I supposed to say that? But you got the question.
Yeah, so that's kind of where that goes back to that mat time, that mat awareness. You know, I'm really good at keeping a cool head and trying not to get in my own head. I mean, for a little there, I was a little flustered, but you know, I just kind of had to reset, take a second just to reset and really get it. I knew I could get it done, and that's where that freestyle Greco pays off. I mean, he's a good wrestler. He's going to Southeastern, so he's not a bad wrestler at all. But that 4-1 going down in with a minute and 20 or a minute left and hitting that arm spin. I mean, it was still it was very very nerve wracking. And after I hit it, you know, it's something that you feel. You just, you know, it happened. It hit it, and then I looked up at the clock and it's still 30-40 seconds left where I got to ride him out, and I'm only up by 1. So, you know, I can't really worry about what I just did. Now I got to hold him down, or I got to turn him again so I can win this match because it's not over yet.
Oh, that's awesome. What a great question and what a great answer. Jackie Emerson just asked, and I know you touched on it a little bit at the beginning. What are you doing now to keep in shape? Yeah, lifting, running. You know, my diet, it's not the best right now, but it's not terrible. I'm working out on the mat with my dad, you know, trying to get better, you know, trying to open up my inventory and get to that next level. You know, there's a lot of things that I have to work on. Even though I won the state championship this year, there's still a lot of things that I did wrong. And so I have to fix those mistakes so I can get to me wanting to place at or win NHSCAs, you know, get the job done at Fargo and try to be an All-American there, or try to be an All-American at Super 32 and Ironman and all these other things, you know. Awesome. So Caden Cunningham, how does it feel to have the coolest 195-pounder in the nation on your team? Angel Hernandez, I think you talked on this a little bit. What kind of culture does Danny build at Lake Gibson?
It's a good one. It's family oriented. We have you don't see guys that go off and then Walker doesn't keep in contact with. I mean, he keeps in contact with all of them when they go back into college, and when they're coming back to break, and these guys are in the room. They want what's best for us. They still want us to win, and you go through all the recent ones that left: Punchy, Angel, Shannon. I mean, there's tons of them that they Darian. They all still come back in the room after when they're on break in college and trying to help us improve and making us better.
That's awesome. Coach George, Brent George, not Brandon George, says, talk about balancing academics and wrestling.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's hard. It is. It's definitely not easy. You'll have those days that you're cutting weight and you really don't want to do anything, but you know that you're missing that school either that Friday or that Thursday, and you really have to be so mentally strong to be like, okay, I have to get this done. And I'm grateful for some of the teachers that I have that they understand what I'm feeling, so they're trying to do what's best for, also trying to make it a little bit easier on me. But yeah, it's hard to do it.
I'm guessing Crystal Abdon is your mom?
Yeah.
She said, laugh out loud. Top bottom only is 30 seconds and less periods in the garage.
Yeah.
From your dad.
Yeah.
Someone said, Coach Abdon can still roll?
Yeah, he can a little bit. He's not that old yet, but he's getting there.
All right, man. So let's get into it. You're down by, if anybody has any questions while I'm doing these last 10, just feel free to throw them in there and let me know. Ultimately, who gets credit for all you do? From Paul Walker.
The Lord. The Lord does. He's put me in the situation that he has. He's given me the people that's been a part of the journey, because it takes a village. It's not the two head coaches that you see in the corner. It's from the people that are taking pictures to getting me my food and warming that up before my matches, to making sure I have what I need, to driving me to where I need to be. And it takes a whole village. There's a lot of behind the scenes people that deserve a lot of credit, but the Lord definitely has blessed me and given me the great opportunities and a great skill to really do what I love.
Amazing. And great answer, man. So you're down by 3 going into the third period, and you have choice. Are you going top, bottom, or neutral?
I'm going bottom.
Folk style or freestyle?
Freestyle.
Headgear or no headgear?
Let's go with headgear. I like wearing the headgear.
That's Ethan said that when he goes, I like having no headgear on, but the problem is my headgear is like my switch. When I put it on my head, it kind of gets me ready.
Yeah, he's right.
Like a player putting his helmet on.
Yeah.
So you only have one day to train. Do you prefer to go to a rumble or a clinic?
That's a good one. Depends on the clinic. Depends on who's teaching that clinic. But I do like a rumble really gets you going, but you can learn a lot from a clinic, and then that may open up new doors and new opportunities in your next match and take you to the next step. So probably a clinic if it's a good clinician.
Cool. Good answer. Curtis Felton said rumble. Who wins the rematch, Loudon Swain or Brian Sheep?
Oh, is this the one from the movie?
The Vision Quest?
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Don't worry, I didn't see it until last weekend, but I've been asking the question because it was sent to me. So I saw it too. That's fine.
Yeah,
Penn State or Iowa? I'll ask you that one.
Iowa. I like my boy Bretley, and I know he's going there, but there's a lot of there's some Iowa's pretty deep right now.
Oh yeah. I mean, they got kids that won't even wrestle next year that are best in the country, right?
Oh yeah.
Which title holds more prestige to you, the 32 or the Fargo?
Fargo's tough. Fargo's real tough because it's not the 2 days that you're wrestling. It's that it's the I mean it's a lot. It's getting to the weight, and you gotta like a 1 pound. I think it's a 1 pound weight allowance the next day for making it to the next day, and so you're going from this that let's just say I'll just put it for me 38, and then it's 39, and then that if you're going both styles, then you got to get back down to 38 again. So it's Fargo's very and it's the best of the best. I mean, you're having over 200 people bracket, so it's a lot.
Now, you've wrestled at 32, right?
Yeah, I wrestled at Segura too.
You've wrestled at Fargo.
Yes.
Have you wrestled at Ironman and the Beast also?
I've wrestled at Ironman freshman and sophomore year, but we have not wrestled. Blake Gibson has not been to the Beast.
The reason I ask is because I know that I want to ask how you compare the knockout to all those big tournaments you've been to, and how close is Coach Pat and Coach Jim, is it over there, to really getting this thing to being up there with those tournaments?
Yeah, the knockout's tough. I mean, you get into the quarters. I mean, it's a good kid. You're getting to the quarters. It's a good kid. Now, Ironman's very tough. It's I think the toughest in-season tournament there is. You know, Fargo's just a big. You know, it's a big thing. That's where you see some of the best compete. And so is Super 32. Super 32 is really tough. I mean, their knockouts up there. It is knockout. Yeah, I mean, you're having some of the best teams from the Southeast come, like Woodward. You know, you have like Gibson, you have Jesuit, you have South Dade. You know, there's a lot more schools that are very good there, but they're getting up there. It gets tougher by the year. Every year it's tougher. You know, you're gonna have to beat a good kid to place. There's no easy route, just like any of the other tournaments.
Awesome. I like to ask, especially kids at your level, because you guys have experienced all those, so you can really talk about the talent level. And and I think from what I'm gathering from talking to like you and the Baziles and Reina and Lugo and all these kids that have wrestled that tournament, is it seems like from semifinals and finals it can compete nationally with anybody, but the depth of it does not allow it to compete with those larger tournaments. Because like I talked to these top guys like you, Reina lost in the finals. Ortiz's son lost in the finals. I talked to Brendon, and he said that was my only loss of the year. So there's some big names getting beat there. So would you say?
For sure. I mean, I pulled off. I think it was in the quarters. I had the 3 seed, and then in the semis I had Henson, who's up there in the top, or McCrary. I had McCrary, and he's like number 6 in the nation or whatever he is. And then I had at the time the number 1 kid in the nation in the finals. And you know, that gives you a lot of eyes are on you when you reach them semis and the finals. But yeah, I think that's where it lacks a little bit, is that the depth. I mean, they're right. I mean, the best kids who are in those semis and in those finals, I think can compete with anyone in the nation. But it's those first couple rounds that's where they lack, because every match at Ironman is tough. Every match at Super 32 is tough. It's all tough. It's all tough. Fargo, every match is tough. You don't have a bad kid. They're there for a reason. So it's
cool.
Good.
Sorry, Pat Ortiz. I just have so much respect for you. I feel like you are the coach. He put Coach Jim Bird, the legend, Dan. I'm just a dad who helps, not a coach, real laugh out loud. I think you're more than that. I've seen you in those rooms in my small little time that I've been in this wrestling thing. and I think you've raised a couple of pretty good wrestlers yourself. Hey, so I really appreciate this, man, and it's been great talking to you. It's amazing talking to all these kids that have won a state championship and have not, but are just in the program. I mean, must have great parents because you
Oh,
carry
for
yourself
sure.
very
For sure.
well, and it's been a pleasure speaking with you. And I
Yes,
just wish
thank
you
you.
nothing from the best. And this platform has been great for me because I have so many more kids now that I can root for and be excited for when I see
Yeah.
you do that.
Yes.
Hey, so Chase Ayers says, who was your training partners when you started wrestling?
Oh, there's a ton of them. I grew up in that Brendon wrestling room. I know me and Nick, we used to go back and forth. Oh God, we used to get at it. The Crooks, I've wrestled with them. I've wrestled with a lot of kids. Chase, I've wrestled with Chase. I've wrestled with, a lot of the majority of the year this year I wrestled with Ashton. And that was a grinder. That was hard. Evan Butler in there. I mean, there's so many kids. The best kids that you see in Florida that you've grown up or that you see succeed are the kids that we've all been around. We've all went to the same national tournaments together. We've wrestled each other. I mean, there's a lot that we've done in the years that we've all been wrestling.
That's awesome. Christopher LaRocca wants to know, what is your go-to move?
Ooh, go-to.
Yeah, at least lie so people can't defend you. No, I'm just kidding.
whatever works. Whatever's there. I mean, it's tough because some moves it's going to be a lot harder to get on some people if they have a good strategy, and then others. It's really what separates you from being good to great is being able to transition and have one or two moves, and that's kind of what I'm working on right now, is being able to get hit one move, and if that doesn't work, go straight to the next, and if that doesn't work, go straight to the next. Making sure everything's in sync. Setting it up, moving your feet. It's a lot. So whatever works at the time against that certain opponent.
Well, I got to say that, and I don't know if I don't think it's the show that did it. I think it's you, because when I'm live, you usually get 10 or 15 views or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Spencer Lee and Yanni got some views, but you were up almost to 50 views live at one point, which I haven't gotten that close except for Spencer Lee and maybe Yanni. So,
Yeah.
You must be a really, really, really good kid with a really good family, and people must love you, man, because that says a lot about your character.
That goes back to the Lake Gibson. It's all family oriented. So everyone loves each other. We're all one family. We're all rooting for each other. I mean, when you're in one of them senior night duels in the Lake Gibson in the reservation, it gets loud because you got all the alumni back. You got all the families, everyone comes and watches, and it's loud and it's exciting, and it's a great atmosphere.
Yeah, and somebody just said Humboldt and LG family, and I got to say too, I haven't spoke to one kid that just is not, that's great like you guys are, you and Bretley and the Riveras and Tobia and the Basiles and Lugo. Look at me, I'm dropping names like I'm somebody special, but nobody has come across to me like just egotistical, high on themselves. I'm better than you. Everybody in this community, and even if they're the best, I mean, I'm talking to Pat Lugo, #1 in the country at his weight, and he's just like a kid at the candy store. I mean, it's very humbling, and I think that's why I started this, because of that. So
there's always room to grow. I mean, there's always something that you can be doing to get better, and there's always someone that's either working to beat you or is working so you won't beat them. It's a match can go any way. It's so like you don't know what happens. You don't know how the styles are going to match up. You don't know what could happen in the match. So there's always room to get better, and especially when you're moving from the middle school to the high school to the college, and then if you're wanting to wrestle at that Olympic level, there's always you're not going to be the big dog for so long. I mean, Bretley's probably one of the best in the country, and he's going into the #1 college in the nation. So he's not going to roll up in there and be able to beat everyone, but he's going to have those training partners to get to where he wants to be hopefully the #1 in the nation.
Some Coach Ortiz said to ask you the headlock question. What's he talking about?
I got a all right. It's all right headlock. It's helped in some scenarios.
Pat, expand so I can ask the question.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. Oh, scroll up, Dan. Okay, hold on. Scrolling up. I'm trying, man. Oh, you asked it earlier? Okay, hold on. Let me find it. Everybody relax. I only have one hand and one screen, so I try to expand it and split it. Well, I have two hands, but they don't both have a mouse. Hold on. Sorry, Pat. I'm glad you said something. Ah, here we go. I found it. Thank you, Pat, for calling me out. Who has a better headlock? Chase Ayers, John Conrad, Alan Morano, Lucas Willis, or you?
I got a pretty mean headlock. I don't know. There's some good ones out there. Kai Owen's got a good one. He sets it. I've seen him wrestle with it. His is dirty. Braden Basile's is pretty dirty too. I mean, Kai's is good though. I wrestled with him at Cadet Duels, and I've seen him set it up really nice. And Kai's is good. If you ever interview Kai, ask him about his headlock's nice. He's got a nice one.
How can you? So I'm a rookie at this wrestling thing, you know, right? So talk to me. Like a headlock from when I was a kid was like a street headlock. You locked your hands and grabbed somebody, you pulled them. But how are you able to do it and practice it to where you can get so good at it, but not lock your hands or get called for too far into the neck?
You're able to lock your hands because you're in a pinning combination, but it's something that's a thing that I've just been good at since a little kid. You know, I don't really know where it all started, but I'm sure as a little kid, that's probably the only move I used. Because I know one of my old coaches, he said that I couldn't hit it in a match, and he said if I do, then I'm getting punished. So I was like, I had to stop hitting it so often. But yeah, it's a thing that it takes a lot of practice, especially those big moves, and those really pay off. Just like in my state semifinals, those pay off. You know, when you're down by 3 points in the state semifinals, and you know you're predicted to win it. Well, you're down, so now it's like the pressure's on you, and then that's where that freestyle Greco comes in. You hit an arm spin, and you know the match plays out how it did. But it's something that you learn as a little kid. Then when you start getting older, then you see more ways to set it up from a 2-on-1, and more ways to hide it, and ways to make it tighter, make it, you know, make you hit it faster. You know, it's those big moves pay off a lot, and especially that when you get really good at it, you can use it in very, very good situations that help out a lot.
Awesome, man. Well, good Lord, I could sit here and talk to you all day, but we all have to go.
Yes.
Hey, I appreciate it. And if people listen out, I got Anthony Echemendia coming on next. So that's pretty dope. I don't know, did you watch his flow already?
No, I have not, but I have seen it, so I think I'm going to go watch it soon.
Yeah, what a good story. So everybody tune in live for that. I don't know if I'll have as many views as I do for the great Abdon here, but we'll see what we can do. Hey man, anytime you want to come on, anytime you want to shout anybody out, anytime you just want to talk wrestling, feel free to hit me up. I'm down because I can learn so much from you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you. Appreciate it a lot. If you ever want me on again, you know.
Yeah, no worries. And reach out to your friends. Tell them to come on.
Danny Walker needs to get on here. Brent George, get them on here.
I have attempted, but Mr. Walker said he's busy fishing, playing golf, and he's trying to get his pool to look like Sal Basile's is what he said. And then I saw it and I figured, yeah, it doesn't look like that. All right, buddy. You take care and tell your
All
dad
right.
thanks. I appreciate
All right.
having you on.
Thank you.